it's JP. So today I am going to show you how to make this bracelet. It's the classic right angle weave and pearl bracelet. You may have even seen other tutorials. It's similar. I've made a couple of little changes. One of the things that I've done differently is that I've used pinch beads as my embellishment. And so the beads here on top are called pinch beads. Here they are. They look like elongated bicones to me. So I've got a 4mm bicone here, and so they're about the same width as a 4mm bicone, but they're a lot longer too. But I think they make really good embellishment here. And so to make the bracelet, what you're going to need are 11 seed beads over here that I have. You're going to need 15 seed beads that are over here. So I used a slightly darker color. And then you're going to need 55 pearls. So my bracelet is 6 inches. So you'll need 55 to make 6 inches. And then you can add based on that. And 18 pinch beads for the 6 inches again. So now you don't have to use pinch beads, of course, to make this bracelet. You can use bicones. You can use another pearl on top. Or you could even just go across with a line of seed beads. So I did this with pinch beads just to show you just something you can do with pinch beads, and it came out really nice. And since it's a wedding season now, it's almost we're mid-May and June is coming. Can you believe the year? We're at almost at the halfway point of the year. I still can't believe that. Anyway, so this would make a great bridesmaid's gift, or even just something the bride could wear. Anyway, just something kind of classy for a wedding, or I don't know, brunch. Anyway, the other thing you're going to need, sorry, I'm saying anyway a lot, are jump rings and a clasp of some type. So I'm using the lobster claw clasp here from Silvex Craft. So as you remember from my last tutorial, they had given me some materials to play with, and so they gave me some of these lobster claw clasps, and this is from Silvex Craft. So I made a bracelet using that particular clasp. And here we are. So let's get started, and I hope you guys enjoy the tutorial. The first thing we're going to do is pick up an 11 a pearl, pearl, 11 pearl, 11 and one last pearl. So this is what you should have, and what you want to do is just bring those down except for the pearl. You want to take your other needle and cross into the pearl. Now hold the pearl in your hand and hold the needles in your other hand and gently bring them down. And what this will do is it'll center. You want this to be centered in the middle of your thread, just like this. And so you'll have a nice little ring. So in your next step, you're going to pick up an 11 on each needle, and you're going to pick up a pearl on each needle, and then an 11 again. So on each needle you should have a pearl in the middle of 2 11s, just like I do here. So here's my then you're going to do is pick up one pearl with one needle. It doesn't matter which one. And then you're going to cross the other needle into it. Just like this. Hold the pearl in one hand and pull the needles, both needles together with your other hand. And here's what you get. And now you're going to repeat. So you're going to pick up an 11 and then a pearl and an 11-0, and on the other side you're going to pick up a pearl and an 11-0. So this is what you'll get. Push those down. And now you are going to pick up a pearl and you are going to cross the needles so that both threads go through that pearl, and then just pull down just like so, and this is what you have. So I'm going to show this to you one more time, and then you are going to continue until you get the length of the bracelet that you need. So 11-0 pearl, 11-0 on one side. Take the other needle and do 11-0 pearl, 11-0. Then take your one needle, pick up a pearl, and then take your other needle and go through the same pearl. Hold both needles and bring the pearl down. And this is what you're going to be getting. Okay, so you guys go ahead and continue until you get the length you need. Remember to keep about a ½ inch for the clasp. Okay, so once you've made the desired number of units that you need, so this is what your bracelet should look like. So for the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to make our little ring for our clasp. So what I'm going to do is pick up 6 11-0 beads. So I've got my 6, and I'm going to take one of my needles and I'm going to go back around. So actually, I guess you should know which side your thread is exiting. So the needle that I'm holding, get this other needle out of the way. There we go. Okay, so the needle that I'm holding, the thread is coming out from this side, so I'm going to go back around the pearl in this way. So, and make sure, you know, if your unit gets loose, just make sure you tighten that out first. Just like this. So you just want a little loop so that you can put a jump ring through it, and then take your other needle and you're going to go through all the 11-0 beads. So I got through all the 11-0s. Going to make sure everything stays tight. Then go through the pearl. So, and that's what you should have. And so you're just you can reinforce this a couple more times. I'm gonna not do that just to save some time here on the video, because all you're gonna do is you're just gonna go back through all the 11-0 beads and then the pearl, and so you'll be exiting in the same, you'll end up back in the same place that you started with. So, and this is just to reinforce this loop here. Okay, so I've reinforced my loop, and what I've done is taken my needle, and so I was exiting from this pearl, so I've gone through the 11-0 here, the pearl, and then I've come out of an 11-0. And all I'm going to do is take a 15-0, and I'm going to go in and fill in this little gap here. And so I'm just going to go through the 11-0, the pearl, and the 11-0 in this next unit. And so I'm just adding just a little 15-0 bead there. And what this does is just reinforce the bracelet just a little bit more. And so I'm just going to do that all the way down, both sides. I'm just going to do that with both my two sets of threads here. And so all I'm doing is taking my 15-0 and I'm just going in between the two 11-0 seed beads here. That's it. So, very simple step, as you can see. And so go ahead and do that on both sides. So once you go down one side, then just take your other needle and your other thread, which is way up here, and just go down this side. So you don't, all you're gonna do is, since this thread is exiting the purl, you're gonna go through the 11-0, the purl, and the 11-0. And now you're all set up. So all you have to do now is add in the 15-0s between those 11-0s there. Okay, so keep going and then I will show you the last couple of steps. Okay, so I'm coming to the end here of adding my 15-0s, and so I've got to add 2 more. So I've got 1 more here that I'm going to add. And here's the last one. So I've added a 15-0 between my 11-0s on both sides, and so I've ended up on the opposite side. Both my threads are on the opposite side. Now what you want to do is we're going to make the loop for the clasp on this side. So you're coming out of this purl on one side, and you should be coming out of a purl on this side. So just go through the 11-0 and this purl at the very end, and you want both threads to be coming out of the same purl on opposite sides, just like I have here. And you're basically going to do the same thing that you did before. So you're going to pick up 6 11-0s. And so you're going to go back through the purl, just like that. And then you're going to take your other needle and you're just going to reinforce the loop. And so I'm just going through the seed beads and then back through the purl. So you're going to end up with, so you should end up with threads. Oops, I got caught. There we go. So again, your threads should both be exiting the purl on opposite sides. And so what we're going to do is now we're going to ignore one side, one of the threads, and we're just going to work with one. So in this next step, you're going to pick up a 15-0, you're going to pick up a pinch bead, and you're going to pick up a 15-0. So this is what you're going to get. So now, in this case, the thread is coming out of this purl and it's going down in this direction. So I'm going to go to the purl that's on the opposite side, and I'm going to go through that purl so the thread ends up going in the same direction. So, just like this. And this is what you want to get. So you want your pinch bead to just kind of lay over, don't pull too tight, you just want it to kind of lay over on top of the purls at a diagonal. And then you're just going to repeat. So you're going to pick up a 15-0, 11-0, or sorry, 15-0 pinch bead and 15-0. And again, so the thread is exiting this purl and it's going down, so we're going to go down in the same direction. And so you end up with this really nice diagonal shape over your purls. So that's it. So I'll show you one more time. Go ahead and then continue down to the end of the bracelet. So 15-0 pinch bead, 15-0, and down we go, just like this. All right, so keep going till you get to the end. So I've got about halfway through adding the pinch beads, and so the thread that I had ran out, so I went ahead and just added my last of the pinch beads here, and then I tied off the thread by putting 1/2 inch knots across here. So now I'm going to use the thread that I have on the other side, and what I'm going to do is just go through all the beads that are along this the side of the side in which this thread is coming out. So I'm just going to work my way down until I get to this bead here. So there's really nothing to it. You're just going through beads. That's it. You're not adding anything. Just working your way down. Straight line. So anyway, this way you don't end up wasting thread. So and this will also reinforce your beads. So oh, we're here. Okay, guess I should pay attention. So once you get through this pearl that's closest to your last one, what you're going to do is go through the seed bead, the 11-0, not the 15-0, and then you're just going to go down into the pearl that's in the center. So now you're set up basically the same way and as the other thread was, and you can continue. So again, you're just going to pick up your 15-0, your pinch bead, and your 15-0, and you're just going to come out of the pearl in the same direction that's on the opposite side. And that's it. So I have a few more to do, and so I'm going to do another one here, and then we are finished, and then we just have to add the clasp on. So go ahead and keep going, guys. Okay guys, here is the finished bracelet. I hope you like it. So I've went ahead and added my clasp on. Nothing to it, just put the jump rings through the loops that we made. You know how to put jump rings through loops. I've shown that so many times in other videos. So you should be able to do that. And so here we are. And I hope you guys like this tutorial. And so I am trying to do some things differently for this channel. So I have a few announcements. So I'm trying to put announcements at the end. That way, you know, people who want to just bead can get started on the beading. So one of the announcements is that I want to try to upload twice a week. One of the things I'd wanted to do were wire videos. And so my goal is to try to upload a beading video on a Wednesday and probably a wire video on a Friday. We will see how this goes because my time is a little limited. Anyway, the other thing I want to show you are some coming attractions. So I will be doing a tutorial on this bracelet. It is not finished. As you can see, I'm still working on it. I'm still in the design process of it. I'm not completely happy with parts of it, so I'm still kind of working through the design. But just to give you a little sneak peek at what I'm doing. Another tutorial that you'll be seeing shortly is for this earring. So I've got the one earring made. It's my prototype, and so I'm working on coming up with, or I'm going to make the second one with, with the video, of course. So this is something else that'll be coming up. And let's see. So you guys know that the contest for the necklace is still going on. So I just want to remind you that this is the necklace that I'm giving away as part of my drawing. So what you need to do is either make something from one of my tutorials and then either email me the picture or post it on my Facebook page. So I have links to both in the description box. I also have the materials list down there too. So just take a look in the description box, and hopefully more people. I've got about 5 or 6 people that I've sent pictures or on my Facebook page. So, but you can also email me if you're not on Facebook and still want to participate. So this is the necklace, which is part of 2 videos from earlier. If you're new to my channel, and so this is what I'm giving away. I'm gonna ship it out to wherever you are. So if you're in Australia, then I'll ship it to Australia. Hopefully you're not in Antarctica, because I don't know if I can do it there. Anyway, so I hope you guys will post. It has to be one of my tutorials, and go ahead and send me a picture of something you make. I really love seeing the different color choices people make, because I'm always blown away. I'm terrible with colors, and so I'm always blown away by people's choices. Anyway, alright guys, well I'll see you at the next tutorial.